name is Jordy, and this is my story. If my life was transcribed into one rock and roll hit, it would be called Money, Reputation, Power. Pretty terrible name for a song. Probably wouldn't sell many copies, but let me give you some context. In high school, it wasn't uncommon for a day or a week to go by where I wouldn't hear the words, "You have it made. Everything's set out for you. You're wealthy. You've got nothing to worry about." I heard these words so much as a teenager that they actually began to shape my whole worldview about money, about success, about the worth of someone. The interesting part is they were kind of accurate in a sense. From an exterior view, they had me nailed. I was next in line to take over my dad's business. My dad had a trucking and warehousing business that has been successful for a number of years in our small town. There's large 53-foot moving billboards of my family name going through town. And so people are reminded of this and associate that with success. And so I don't blame them, but this is what I grew up with. At age 18 years old, I moved away from home. I moved to Alberta to go to college for a year, and something drastic happened to my rock and roll hit. Nobody cared about it. I was in a new city with new friends who had different interests. Nobody cared about who my father was, the family business. Nobody even cared about the truck that I drove. I had this great Dodge, it was lifted up, and so I was kind of shocked, taken aback, and basically I just wanted to hear, I guess, those words again, "You have it made," or "You're someone that's great." Just really selfish stuff, but this is the truth. And so basically I found myself acting a different way to please people. I wanted to hear those words again, and so I tried to bring attention to myself. But that didn't fit. I knew I wasn't being myself. I knew I was trying too hard to get people to say something to me, to have the approval of people, to be talked well among people. And so this was actually a fruitless pursuit. I'm a man of conviction, and what that means is I didn't want to keep living this way, trying to be someone who I wasn't, and so I took a step back from my pursuit and did some evaluation. I asked myself, why do I want these things so bad, and why do I feel so empty if I don't have them? I actually looked at faith. It's a big part of my life growing up. I actually wasn't that interested in it. It was a mixed bag of emotions for me. I saw a lot of rules. I saw an inconvenience to my lifestyle, but that actually wasn't the true message. There was two quotes from the Bible that really helped me understand this place I found myself in. One of them goes like this: "Those who trust in their riches will fall, for riches don't last forever." The second one says this: "Am I trying to please man or God? Am I still trying to please man? If I were still trying to please man, I would not be a servant of Christ." And while those things, or those quotes, seem strong or drastic, they're true. I had put my trust and I had put my worth as Jordy Wills into things that could never love me back, could never accept me unconditionally, and they could never make me happy in moments when I wanted to be happy, that these are actually temporary things. The other thing that I did was I made a review of the person of Jesus Christ, someone who I had heard about my whole life growing up in a Christian church. Never really processed it though from a personal perspective. This was a person who told people to do good things, and I know there was a lot of people that followed him, but I didn't understand the significance of him in my life. I did some reading, tried to do my research and try and figure out who is this person and why did he die and why do people talk about his death 2,000 years later. I realized that his death on the cross 2,000 years ago was for me. That all that selfishness, that all that kind of corrupted heart stuff that I talked about, that it was actually dealt with 2,000 years ago when he died, that he came for a purpose, not just to be great, not just to have holidays planned around him, but he came to deal with those very selfish moments that I had. And it says that he died for my sins, which is essentially the stuff that doesn't please him, the stuff that was corrupting. Something else that blew me away was the topic of worth that is throughout the Bible. God actually showed me that I was valuable and worth something when He sacrificed His Son so that I could know Him. And this blew my mind, that someone would actually sacrifice someone for me. If you're watching this video and you think, good for Jordy that he found something, that he has something to hold on to, maybe in times of trouble. And what I want to say for you is, this is my story, but I also believe that this is for you. That God of the universe, the God who created us, wants to know us. And I pushed Him away for so many years. I tried to do it on my own, figure out things on my own, justify my lifestyle on my own. And here He was waiting for me to turn to Him. There's another passage in the Bible that says, it's Jesus talking, He says, "Behold, I stand at the door and knock." And this was me. Years of my life, Jesus knocking on the door, wanting to come in, to forgive me, to give me direction, to satisfy these cravings for power, money, reputation. And here I was, and I did not answer the door. There's some association with someone becoming a person of faith, and then they have their whole life together. They have everything figured out. And actually, I think it's the opposite for me. Since I made a decision to trust God, believe in Jesus, yeah, things are still a mess. I'm still tempted to rely on money, reputation, power, but that I recognize that I need help. I constantly need to be in check of who I think I am and where I find my worth. And so it's a daily challenge for me. And I try and actually connect with God every day and be grounded, be rooted in Him and His worth in me. My name's Jordy, and this is my story.